goal, then you tighten up. Kick a field goal, then you tighten up. First and 10, then you tighten up. Interception, then you tighten up. Fourth and goal, then you tighten up. Kick a field goal, then you tighten up. First and 10, then you tighten up. Interception, then you tighten up. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to another Tennessee Titans video from Titantown. Well, sort of. Today we're doing a fantasy football mock draft. You guys are welcome to stay and watch and see the guys I picked. I'm not going to pick any Tennessee Titans player that would be a reach. If I can get them at good value, I will take them, but if not, I will not. This video is to kind of see and get a feel where the Tennessee Titans players are going to go. As you can see from your screen right now, Ty Gurley was the first overall pick, followed by Le'Veon Bell, and next Ezekiel Elliott goes. Ty Gurley, number 1 overall. I like that pick. He is my number 1 overall running back, followed by Le'Veon Bell, then Ezekiel Elliott. Fun fact, this is take 2 of this video. And the first one, I was in there with some guys, and they was really chatty. There's not much chatting in this video or in this mock draft. But I'm picked 12 overall. That's where I'm going to pick because that's where I pick in my actual mock draft that I'm doing, or my actual draft that I'm doing this year. And I picked Melvin Gordon. And we got into a debate. And you guys comment below and let me know how you feel about the subject. I actually have Melvin Gordon ranked ahead of Ezekiel Elliott in my big boards, or the way I feel about it anyways, because my argument is I feel like Ezekiel Elliott is going to be the heart and soul of the Cowboys offense, and teams are really going to stack the box to stop Ezekiel Elliott, and that's really going to have him. There's nobody on the offensive side of the ball there in Dallas who can really scare a defense, so each and every play that box is going to be stacked, which is really going to limit Ezekiel Elliott's effectiveness. While Melvin Gordon, on the other hand, he's got Phillip Rivers as his quarterback. He's got Keenan Allen on the outside. So they have some other options, and I expect him to win more games this year. So he'll get a lot of garbage time points, where on the Cowboys, on the other hand, I do not think will. So what do you guys think? Of course, Ezekiel Elliott is a slightly better talent. You say very slightly. And he's going to have more opportunities because he's probably going to get more carries. But overall, I feel like Melvin Gordon is going to be more effective. And there you can see my first pick of this mock draft. I took Kareem Hunt because he actually fell to me. He usually don't, but he did this time. And then I went ahead and picked up Melvin Gordon, who we were just talking about. Very similar, excuse me, I can't talk today. I've been working all day. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. This is Sunday, by the way. Did this draft on Saturday, and you guys are going to be getting it on Monday, so kind of breaking the fourth wall there to let you guys know what's been going on with me. But I do have a lot of projects going on right now for the channel. A lot of great videos coming out. So if you haven't subscribed yet, punch that subscribe button. A lot of great stuff coming out, including a very technical video about how the Titans are going to look scheme-wise in 2018. I'm still doing a lot of research for that. Plan on hopping on Ryan Moreland's podcast Monday night if it isn't too late, when he gets a chance to record, to talk some about that and to give I guess an overall, give you basically what I'm looking at. But basically, I'm going to be looking at the types of plays they're going to be called, the types of techniques the players are going to use. Then on the defensive side of the ball, the same thing, whether it's a 4-3 front or a 3-4 front, which player should play which role, and things of that sort. And I've also got another article I read the other day. You guys seem to have liked that last article I kind of reviewed on here. So got that's going to be going up here in the next couple of days. So a lot of good stuff coming out on the channel. Be sure to subscribe. But kind of like how I have Melvin Gordon ahead of Ezekiel Elliott, I also have Jordan Howard above Leonard Fournette, and for the same reason. While Fournette is a little bit better of a talent, there's nobody on that Jaguars offense that is really going to scare you. With Allen Hurns gone, Allen Robinson is gone. They still have Marcus Lee. They signed Austin Seferian-Jenkins, but there's really not a player on that offensive side of the ball that really scares you, especially with Blake Bortles being the one throwing them the football. While the Bears, I wouldn't put Mitchell Trubisky that much ahead of Blake Bortles, of course, but they do have Allen Robinson, who was on the Jaguars. They do have Anthony Miller, who they just drafted. And looking back at the past, you know that Jordan Howard is good for 1,000 yards every year. He's been putting up 1,000 yards. So, very safe pick. I do like the Jordan Howard pick. If he follows me, I will go ahead and pick him up in the third round, and I would just jump on that. I won't even look to see who else is available. I would just jump on Jordan Howard. I doubt that he falls that far, but if he did, I definitely would. And I want to apologize for any pop-ups. My computer is full of viruses. Like I said, this is Sunday that I'm actually editing this. I recorded it Saturday. Monday, I've got to get my computer in the shop. And speaking of Jordan Howard, he just goes off the board at pick number 11 in round 2. So didn't even get close to having a chance at him. But I've got to get my computer into the shop. That's part of the reason why videos have kind of slowed up. I've got to get work done on this computer, and I need to get it done pretty quick. As you can see on my roster, I'd like for you guys to comment. Let me know how you feel about my roster kind of towards the end. I'll go through and I'll look at the other players' rosters as well. Right now, I have Kareem Hunt and Melvin Gordon. Do you guys feel like I should have went running back, wide receiver? Do you feel like I should have went maybe Dalvin Cook, maybe Gronk? Just comment, let me know. I like any and all feedback. Like I say, I actually thought about starting a fantasy football channel because I love fantasy football. You guys comment, let me know if you'd be interested in that as well. And if you do like this video, right now I'm working on ESPN. I'm doing the ESPN mock draft. But if you do like this video, let me know, and I might do one on Yahoo next weekend. That's where I mostly do. That's where I actually play my real fantasy football league. Been doing a few mock drafts over there, but I'm more familiar with ESPN because that's where I started at several years ago when I first started playing fantasy football. So I'm a little more familiar with it. And I'm using my laptop, which I normally don't do. I think this is the first time I've actually used my laptop. So maybe next week I'll try to get on Yahoo and do a fantasy football draft if you guys like that. So last 3 picks, or last 4, we had Mike Evans go off the board, followed by Adam Thielen, Larry Fitzgerald, and then Travis Kelce. Let's see, Doug Baldwin goes off the board right after Travis Kelce does. Zach Ertz is still on the board, and he's a tight end that I'm really liking this year. I'm expecting him to put up Gronk-like numbers. And speaking of Zach Ertz, he just goes off the board right there as I'm talking about him. He's another player that is, if he's there in pick 3 in round 12, or pick 12 in round 3, excuse me, I said that dyslexically, I guess would be a proper way to say that. But if he's still there in round 3 when my pick comes around, he is another guy I would absolutely jump on. Of course, you can get other good tight ends later, like Jimmy Graham. Delaney Walker, of course, will be there. Benjamin Watson, man, he's going the very last round or even undrafted, and that's just kind of crazy to me. And my actual league I play in, this is just a mock draft, so you don't really get to play with positions. The actual league I'm drafting in is a 2-quarterback league, 2 wide receivers. Your flex player can only be a wide receiver or a tight end, so I'm kind of leaning in, and if any of you guys are actually in my league who are watching this, hit the mute button real quick because I don't want you to know my strategy going in like you really would. But I'm actually kind of thinking about going running back, and then in rounds 3 and 4 taking 2 really good tight ends, one for my tight end spot, one for my flex spot, because at the end of the draft, there is a lot of good players that you can get for the wide receiver position. Someone like Sammy Watkins, Randall Cobb, DJ Moore, so many good players you can get there at the very end of these mock drafts. So I am back on the clock, and I took Dion Lewis here. He was the first Tennessee Titans player to go off the board. I felt like this was a good spot to take him in the last pick of round 3. And personally, I think that Dion Lewis is the running back to have in Tennessee. I would take him over Derrick Henry, especially in a PPR league. As you can see there, I'm kind of trying to figure out who's available on the draft board right there. I'm recording my computer screen, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. But I feel like Dion Lewis is the running back to have in Tennessee, especially PPR, because he is going to be the passing down back. Jim Watt has been very impressed with his route running and his hands, how he is a mismatch for the defense. Derrick Henry will be used more in the red zone, I believe, but Deion Lewis will get his opportunities there, and we all know Marcus Mariota is a deadly quarterback in the red zone going into his 4th year, and is still not yet to throw an interception in the red zone. So Deion Lewis should really excel there. And after I picked Deion Lewis, I picked up Jay Ajayi, running back for the Philadelphia Eagles. He is going to be the lead back there. So I should be set at running back. I got my 2 starters for sure. Got me a flex guy depending on matchup and situation, who's shining and who's not. I will probably pick up one more later on in the draft just in case for an emergency situation. And again, guys, comment, let me know. Do you think I should have went wide receiver here? You see Josh Gordon still on the board, Mari Cooper, Juju Smith-Schuster, who I also really like this year. Um, Alshon Jeffrey was still on the board. Kenyon Drake is a guy. You see him right there. He's ranked number 44. I believe, no, that was, I believe he just got drafted. I can't really see that well from what I'm looking at on my screen right now, but Kenyon Drake is a guy that I am absolutely staying away from, and so is Sonny Michel, because you just don't know how the Patriots are going to use Sonny Michel. Yes, he's an absolutely talented running back, my number 2 running back coming out of this draft behind Saquon Barkley, but I just don't know how the Patriots are going to use him, so I'm staying away from him. They also have Jonas Gray there. They have Jeremy Hill. They still have Mike Gillislee. There's just no telling how and when this guy's going to get used. He's definitely going to get used. You just don't know how often. Darius Geis is a guy that I do like as a rookie. I wasn't very big on him coming out of college, but I like the situation that he's in. Brandon Cooks just got picked there. He's another guy that I would have considered at this point. But like I said, I'm really trying to stock up on running backs because it's hard to get a running back late. Marshawn Lynch went just before Brandon Cooks did. Then Darius Geis goes off the board. Marshawn Lynch is a guy who I would consider here, but he just burnt me so bad last year, and I just really can't forgive him for that. But last year, man, I finished 11th overall in my league. I won it the year before, but then, I kind of shot for the stars in the last year's draft. I just took players with lots of upside. I was the first overall pick because I did win. So I took David Johnson, number 1 overall. We all know how that went. In the second round at pick number 12, I took Terrell Pryor because at that point I couldn't get him. We all know how that went. I was thinking, he's got a good quarterback now. Kirk Cousins much better than RG3. He put up some ridiculous numbers with RG3. That was my thinking. Excuse me. That was my thinking pattern back then, but we all know how that went. And then I took Marshawn Lynch because, again, he was a guy who had just come out of retirement, whose nickname is Beast Mode, who had put up great numbers for several years. And I was thinking, maybe he has lost a step, but the Raiders' offensive line is much better than what Seattle's was. So I was thinking he could put up numbers kind of similar. That didn't work out. So my league was just, I did awful last year. Alex Collins is a guy I would consider, but I'm kind of weary of because Kenneth Dixon should be coming back, and he really flashed last season before he got suspended or after. He really flashed in the past, but Alex Collins is going in as the guy. I'm just worried about how long he will be the guy. Robert Woods is a guy I'm kind of avoiding because Braden Cooks is there, and I really like Brandon Cooks in a game, so kind of avoiding Robert Woods. Robert Woods is kind of about like a Tajay Sharp for me. Titans fans know what I'm talking about. Derrick Henry goes off the board right after Robert Woods at pick number 5 in the 7th round. That's a good solid spot for him to go. He goes just behind Robert Woods and just ahead of, I can't even read that name. I'm sorry, my screen is kind of blurry here. Royce Freeman. He goes just ahead of Royce Freeman and right behind Robert Woods. It's my pick here, and I am going to take another Titans player, taking Delaney Walker because, like I said, I want to stock up on some tight ends early. I just didn't have the opportunity to, so I went ahead and pulled Delaney Walker, and then I took Pierre Garcon, who is going to be Jimmy G's number 1 option over there in San Francisco. So he should put up some wide receiver 1 numbers every once in a while. I don't expect it on a week-to-week basis, but he will give me some big games throughout the season. Delaney Walker should be a wide receiver 1 week or tight end 1 week in, week out. So should my running backs. They should be running back 1s week in and week out. So really good so far as running back and tight end is concerned. Wide receiver could be better, but could be a lot worse as well. So I'm really liking how my team is looking right now. If you like it, comment, let me know. If you're still here, Leave a thumbs up on the video. Be sure to subscribe because, like I said, a lot of great content coming out in the future. I was having some technical difficulties right here. I was trying, like I said, I'm watching this video back to edit the commentary because before I did this one, I tried another one. Like I said, this was take 2. I tried another one. I was trying to commentate and read all their messages and keep up with the board and all that at the same time, and it just was not going very well for me. At this point, I started thinking, maybe I can record my computer screen while I do this on my phone. It'd be much easier, I thought, but it would not let me do both at the same time. So I had to get off my phone and come back and jump on the computer screen. And like I said, I think there is a few more pop-ups in this video in the future. We're about halfway through right now at the 15-minute mark. I think it's like 29 minutes and some odd seconds. So we're about halfway through. I think there is a few more pop-ups, so I do apologize for that. Hopefully I can get all these computer problems worked out and solved pretty quickly. So we're sitting here, we're waiting. At this point, a lot of people leave the draft. As you can see up there at the top, we got after this pick, after Team 33s makes their pick, we got 2 guys auto picking, and then we'll kind of get back to business. I think the 2 guys auto picking there at the end of the screen are probably the same 2 guys right there before. Next, we have Jordy Nelson and Emmanuel Sanders and Evan Ingram go off the board back to back. Corey Davis is still sitting there on the board right behind Chris Hogan, right above Sammy Watkins. And I don't think with those 3 wide receivers, you could go wrong with any one of them at this point. Again, I think those guys are awesome guys who are going to give you weeks where they put up wide receiver 1 numbers and should be solid wide receivers 2s as long as they're healthy. I think Chris Hogan's going to step up to a big role there in New England, especially with Julian Edelman being suspended, and he goes off the board right there. Julian Edelman being suspended, but I think he's going to take over that Brandon Cooks role that he vacated. Should see a lot more action. Corey Davis, he's going to give you weeks where he puts up wide receiver 1 numbers. I expect that in the new offense. You should be sure to subscribe so you do catch what the Titans' new offense is going to look like in the next few weeks. Sammy Watkins then goes off the board. Really like Sammy Watkins. If I can pick him up late in the draft, I don't know. I'm actually scrolling here. He might not have went off the board. But if I can pick up Sammy Watkins late in the draft, I'm definitely jumping all over that because he's still 6'1". He's still got 4.4 speed. And that year that I did win my actual league, year before the last, I actually had Sammy Watkins as my wide receiver 2 on that team, and he put up some good numbers for me that year. He's not just going to be considered a deep threat. Corey Davis goes off the board next, and I can't see. We're in round 7, so I guess he goes with the first pick in round 7. But Sammy Watkins, he's not just going to be a deep threat. He's going to get his share of looks. Of course, Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill are going to get their looks too. But Sammy Watkins, from what I've been hearing, the coaching staff, they're going to try to use him in a lot of different ways. He's not just going to be a deep threat kind of guy. He's not going to be a kind of guy that kind of catches the first down passes all the time. So next, I go ahead and take Randall Cobb. Aaron Rodgers is his quarterback, so he's going to give me some weeks where he puts up some good wide receiver numbers. And then I come around and I take Jimmy Graham because, like I said, I'm kind of drafting like it was the actual league I'm going to be in. So my flex position is going to be Delaney Walker and Jimmy Graham with Randall Cobb and Pierre Garçon starting as my wide receivers because my flex position cannot be a running back. I didn't double up on quarterback this time around. I probably should have, but it's really hard to predict where quarterbacks are going to go when you're mock drafting in a 1-quarterback league and your actual league is a 2-quarterback league. They go off much quicker in a 2-quarterback league. I usually try to draft 1 quarterback in round 3 or 4, and then I'll try to circle around and grab another one in like 5 or 6 or 6 and 7. Just depends on how quick they actually start going. So right now, Kobe's on the board. He's got 13 seconds to make his pick. Then we got an auto drafter 2 picks away. Then we got 2 more auto drafters. The guy who is first overall in this draft is auto drafting, so that's something. So is the guy who is second overall. So, yeah, at this point in the draft, it gets really hard. We're in round 9 here. Guys start to leave, and they start auto-picking. I guess they believe that they only want to make their first couple of picks. But I'm telling you guys, man, your fantasy drafts are won in the mid and late rounds because rounds 1 and 2 and even 3 sometimes, everybody's going to get players who are going to contribute, going to make a real difference on their team. So, right now, this is when you're actually going to win. If you can find a late gem, or if you've been watching somebody. Telvin Coleman's still on board. He's a running back that I do like. Isaiah Crowell just went. He is going to be the lead back there for the Jets, and you're getting a lead back in round 9. That's something there. Matthew Stafford goes right after him. They're picking pretty quick now. Let's see. Kyle Rudolph goes. Chris Thompson goes. Deshaun Jackson goes. There's another pop-up. I do apologize for that, as I said before. So now we're going to have to wait again. Kuamu. I hope I'm saying that correctly for watching. I did tell them that, hey, I was recording this for YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. Didn't tell them the channel name until right there at the very end because I didn't want them to know that I was strictly a Titans content creator. So I didn't tell them that to affect the draft. I wanted it to play out as it would have played out if, I wasn't recording this and they didn't know I was a Titans fan. So I wanted to go as realistically as possible. We're almost 21 minutes in. I'm starting to lose my voice here. I don't think I've ever talked for this long straight before. Got about another 9 minutes to go. Let me take a breath real quick. Whew, man, that is a lot of talking. I'm normally a quiet guy in real life. I don't. My mom or my friends, they always ask me, why ain't you talking? And I just tell them, I haven't got anything to say. If I had something to say, I'd say it. I'm not shy. I'm just quiet. So now we got Kobe back on the board, followed by auto pick, followed by zebras, and then 2 more auto picks, and then I jump back on the board. And like I said, this is Sunday. Then this draft Saturday. I don't even remember who I picked at this point. I know what I came away with, but I don't remember who I got and when I got them. So, well, I remember who I got. I just don't remember when I got them. So we are in round 9 right now. Still, wow. Yeah, we're in round 9 of 16 right now. So Arnett's on the board. I believe he is an auto picker. The next guy's an auto picker. Here I am on the board. Sean Watson goes off the clock. Kirk Cousin goes off. Who am I going to pick? I can't even remember who I picked. I took Carlos Hyde. That is my emergency running back. So now I'm going to look at a quarterback to draft real quick. Let's see what I do here. Do I take a quarterback? I don't believe I take a quarterback right here. Do I? No? Looking at the wide receivers. Am I going to take a wide receiver? I don't believe I take. Yeah. Looks like I take Allen Hurns here. I believe he is going to be the guy in Dallas. So I went ahead and took Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde is going to be my emergency running back for this mock draft. He might not be in my actual draft because I feel like, Carlos Hyde is a proven guy in the league. When he's healthy, he's not always able to stay healthy. They brought in Nick Chubb. They re-signed Duke Johnson, but I feel like Carlos Hyde is going to be the guy. He was the big money free agent signing, so they're going to expect him to produce. They're paying him the most. They're going to expect him to produce the most. I really feel like this is going to be a DeMarco Murray, Derrick Henry type of situation where this is Carlos Hyde's show for now, but Nick Chubb is the future. So right now it's all on Carlos Hyde. This is his show. This is his rodeo, but the future is definitely Nick Chubb. As far as Allen Hurns goes, right now I feel like he could be the guy in Dallas. Excuse me there. But I'm not 100% sold on that. We're going to wait till the preseason. I'm going to be watching that very carefully because Dak Prescott has been talking about how I can't even remember his name, the little white dude, wide receiver. Comment, let me know what his name is. If I see it, I'll know it, but I cannot think of it to save my life. But anyways, you know who I'm talking. Cole Beasley. Dak Prescott has really been talking up Cole Beasley. Dak Prescott said he's expecting him to have a big year coming up. He talked about how teams started paying more attention to him last year. He started getting more double coverage looks. Jaguars goes off the clock in looks like round 11. My screen is a little bit blurry. Yeah, round 11. Jaguars go off the clock, but Dak Prescott talked about how Cole Beasley started getting more double coverages last year. Teams started to really notice him and pay attention to him last season. So Cole Beasley and Allen Hurns, I'm going to be watching that situation carefully in Dallas when the preseason rolls around because I don't think, unlike Aaron Rodgers, who has Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb, I don't think Dak Prescott is going to be able to carry 2 wide receivers when it comes to fantasy, especially with Ezekiel Elliott, who's going to need to be fed if they want to win games. So going to be monitoring the situation there in Dallas because Cole Beasley, I don't even think is getting drafted right now. Allen Hurns is going anywhere from round 9 to round 11. So really going to be watching that situation. So I'm scrolling through, kind of checking out who's available because as you can see, I'm in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks back. Kobe's on the board right now. We got some auto pickers. Zebra's on the board, followed by some auto pickers, followed by me. I'm going to say who I'm going to take here because, like I said, I can't even remember now. So who am I going to draft this round? I'm going to take DJ Moore. Again, a wide receiver who's unproven but a lot of upside. Looks like I'm going to go defense here, and I am. I'm taking the LA Rams. Now, the LA Rams on paper, they're going to be a very, very stout defense on paper, but I am not expecting them to come out the gate exactly hot because defenses, they take some time to gel, kind of like an offensive line. They got to kind of get to know each other, kind of get used to each other's playing habits. There's a lot of new players having to learn a new system in Dominican Sue, Marcus Peters. Who else did they add? They added the guy from the Broncos. Can't remember his name right now. I'm terrible with names, guys. You know this. You've been watching the channel for a while. I'm terrible with names. Showing you my roster right there on the left. You want to check that out. I had Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon, Pierre Garcon, Randall Cobb, Delaney Walker, Dion Lewis. I can't even remember who it is now because I missed it. I was talking about the defense, but I don't expect them to start the season out hot. But come around week 4, week 6, they could certainly be the number 1 defense in the league with that front 7 and that secondary. I'm just expecting them to take a little bit of time to gel, but they do play in a fairly weak division. The 49ers are going to be their biggest competition, which I may not start them weeks. I may pick up another good defense and try to play them on the weeks that the Rams play the 49ers, depending on who else I got. But Seahawks, I'm not expecting them to do much this year. Cardinals, I'm not expecting them to do much either. So the Rams, when it comes to picking defenses, I take a lot of consideration into the division they play in, not only how good they are on the field, but the division that they play in. And if I got 2 good defenses and one plays in a weak division, one plays in a good division, definitely taking the one that plays in the weaker division, even if the one who plays in the weaker division is slightly less talented than the more talented one. So, Jaguars, I'm not taking them for that reason. I think Deshaun Watson's going to come back. Who knows what Andrew Luck is going to look like, and plus they got to play us twice a year. Mike Williams and Ty Montgomery, 2 top players left on the ESPN board right now, and 2 guys who I'm liking a lot. I know Ty Montgomery is going to. He may not be the lead back there in Green Bay. He could. It's a battle right now, but he's definitely going to be the passing down back with Jordy Nelson gone. Him being a former wide receiver, he should really be able to contribute in the passing game. So I definitely would target him in PPR. Mac Williams is another guy, former first round draft pick. He was taken right after Corey Davis in the 2017 NFL draft, number 7 overall. Spent all season last year injured, but you got to think who's going to be playing across from him is Keenan Allen. I like Corey Davis and Mike Williams coming out. I like Corey Davis slightly better, I promise you, because of the scheme the Titans played in. Corey Davis is a willing and able blocker. I believe he's slightly more athletic than Mike Williams, ran more routes than Mike Williams. Mike Williams was just a master of catching those contested passes, ran solid routes, has good size, good speed combo, but he's playing across from Keenan Allen. Phillip Rivers should be able to support 2 wide receivers. The Chargers do have a lot of big wide receivers, so you might think of him as a red zone threat, although he might not technically be because all of the Chargers wide receivers are big. But if Keenan Allen goes down and Mike Williams plays the potential that the Chargers think he can play, look out. Him going this late in the draft, that will be a wide receiver 1 for many weeks to come if Keenan Allen goes down. And look at him going all the way in round 13. So he's a guy I'm definitely going to be targeting there towards the end of the draft if he pops up in a position. Speaking of pop-ups, if he pops up in a position to where I can get him, I will definitely look to try and get him. Now look at this. Kobe's on the clock picking, and then 4 auto pickers right there in a row. And I don't think I finished this draft. I think I was trying to do something with the pop-ups or something or another and accidentally exited out for my last pick. But spoiler alert, it was a kicker. I'm on the clock again. Let's see who I'm going to take. It looks like I'm taking Jimmy G. He had some good weeks last year. Went 5-0 as a starting quarterback. So twice the points whenever Pierre Garcon gets that touchdown catch from him. Next, I'm going to take the Vikings defense. That gives me two stout defenses, so I should win on a week-to-week basis when it comes to defense. My running back should have a slight edge unless someone's got like Ty Gurley and Jordan Howard or I don't know, Le'Veon Bell and Christian McCaffrey or whoever, Leonard Fournette, whatever. So, it looks like I'm on the clock again. I almost run out of time here. But yeah, I did take the Vikings. I remember taking them. I just couldn't remember. I guess I thought about taking someone else at that point instead. So I should win on a week-to-week basis when it comes to defense. My running back should win that position battle. Um, Wide receivers, it just depends. I'm taking guys with a lot of upside, so we'll just have to see how that works out. There's not a lot left on the board at this point that I really like, so probably would take a quarterback. So now we're going to check out the other teams. I can't even read their names. This guy's got Cam Newton, Ty Gurley, Jarrett McKinnon, Tyreek Hill, Brandon Cooks, Charles Clay, uh, Darius Guys, Chris Hogan on the bench. He's got a pretty solid team, I feel like, but I still think I would get him in the running back situation. This guy's got Carson Wentz. I can't even read that second name there at the running back position. Marshawn Lynch, T.Y. Hilton, Amari Cooper, Rob Gronkowski. I can't read that name in the flex position. Like I said, watching this video back, for some reason it's very blurry. I guess because I got a lot of processing running right now while I'm recording this screen. This guy's got Drew Brees, Ezekiel Elliott, Jordan Howard. He would probably beat me in the running back department and the quarterback department, that's for sure. He must have had an excellent spot to draft at. He's got Tariq Cohen. He doesn't have much on the bench. He's got LeGarrette Blount, like that pig. He's got Sterling Shepard on the bench, like that pig. He's got can't even reduce Kyle Rudolph as his tight end. I like that. The guy's got a pretty solid team. He'd be the guy to beat probably if this mock draft were for real. This guy's got Russell Wilson. He's got Adam Thielen, Juju Smith-Schuster. He's really strong in the wide receiver department, I think. Got A.J. Green, got Sonny Michel. Really strong in the wide receiver department. I don't think he's got much anywhere else. This guy decided to take Andrew Luck. Maybe he knows something we don't. Devonta Foreman, it looks like, Alex Collins, Antonio Brown, Larry Fitzgerald, Evan Ingram, Alshon Jeffrey. Again, really strong in the wide receiver department. Don't think he has much else, depending on how Andrew Luck's going to do. It's got Deshaun Watson, Christian McCaffrey. Can't read that first running back's name there. Doug Baldwin, Derrick Henry. So he's got the boom to go with Deion Lewis's Zoom. And that's the name I'm trying to get started for the Tennessee Titans running back position, Boom and Zoom. So the video is about to end right here. I don't know if I make these picks or not. It looks like it's about over. I know I had a technical difficulty, and yep, it ended. I can't remember what exactly happened, but that's it for the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave comments. Let me know what you think overall of my team, of the other teams, where you would take players, what players you like. So hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. God bless, and tighten up.